Hey everybody! Today, Rahdo runs through an update to Barbarians: The Invasion, which is a game I did a run-through of in prototype form when it was on Kickstarter a while ago. And I just got a pre-release final retail copy, and I figured I would revisit the thing to show you what the final product looked like, because that prototype I had was pretty rough and ready. But the final game is pretty amazing. It is gorgeous. It is big and sprawling, although the first thing I'll point out is the box is not. This is only slightly bigger than your standard Ticket to Ride style box, which is very much appreciated. The prototype I had, it was a ridiculous, huge coffin-sized monstrosity, but this thing I can actually fit on my shelf without too much trouble. And it actually comes with a really nice insert that keeps the volcano in place, keeps everything in place, even though it comes, if you have the deluxe version, with a bajillion miniatures. And these miniatures are really, really nice stuff. I mean, I'm no miniature expert aficionado, but they seem pretty well done to me. Mine is a pre-release copy, so I had a few problems with a few miniatures that were, a little bunged up, but I contacted the publisher. They sent out replacements, so everything is good. And man, there are miniatures for everything. The banners we use to keep track of what land we've grabbed, and the markers we use to keep track of how many resources we've got. It's just absolutely chock-a-block with minis, this game, and they all look really great. But, the final components all look really nice. The art is amazing. And the game came with a bunch of variants and additions that I, of course, didn't talk about when it was on Kickstarter. So one thing I've actually been enjoying this afternoon is it comes with full solo rules, which is I'm right in the middle of playing a solo game. I'm the yellow player going up against the blue player. But there's a bunch of other stuff as well. There are 3 maps instead of just the one that was in my prototype, although I believe one of them is a Kickstarter exclusive. And there's a new hunt module that, in addition to fighting armies out in all the different places, you can go hunting for big scary monsters. And you do that by sending out your Skullcracker. In addition to just traveling from space to space and leapfrogging over the players and grabbing more terrain, your Skullcracker here, everybody has one, and you use your little a ring to mark which one's yours, can actually travel around the world and chase down these markers that represent creatures or animals or monsters that can be fought. So if I come over here, instead of trying, instead of actually expanding my influence to conquer this area, I might send my Skullcracker in to try to beat this monster. It's going to be it would be this thing right here, a big old saber-toothed cat. And to beat it, I would have to do 3 encounters, 3 monster encounters in the forest. And if I beat him, I get a special power. Although it's interesting, some of them give you a special power that's a one-time use. Others give you the ability to be able to help you in future fights. A woolly mammoth here will actually join my army if I defeat it, which requires 2 frozen combats I have to survive through. In future fights, in tundra or in mountains, he will actually join me and help me fight. So a lot of really cool stuff there. And like a whole different thing you're doing is actually, instead of moving yourself around or gathering resources, having this guy travel around the world and fight by using the troops that you would normally use for area conquest. Now, to make this module work with the hunt, the board itself has a whole different side. By the way, here's the volcano. You may recall my prototype, it was super tall and it was kind of hard to tell. I always had to keep standing up to see everything. Now, it still has a nice 3D look, but it's much easier to be able to see at a glance what all the different icons are everywhere. But the interesting thing is, these are 2-sided. This is the standard side, what you saw in my original run-through. This is the other side, the hunt side, where this particular one doesn't show any. Let's see if I were to flip this. Got to remember where those guys are, though. They're on the 2. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the symbol that if you come here, hey, I'll get a resource and I'll be able to move my Skullcracker up to 2 spaces and potentially fight some big scary monster or what have you. And there's a few other new spaces that are on the other side of these as well, like ones that let you engage in war but get special results. Like this one, if you engage in war, you'll get more rewards than you normally would for winning. And there's other ones where the war would be easier if you're fighting in certain arenas. So the other side is very, very interesting. The alternate maps are interesting. This whole hunt game that gets layered in is interesting. And what else is there? Oh, for players who want a little bit more interaction, they want players to be able to hurt each other, you can set up these magma tokens. You put 4 of them out randomly, 1 in each level of the volcano. And what that means is, if any player lands in this sector where this is, all other players have to lose a warrior. And if they don't, they lose points. If you land in one of these two, because it's in this sector, all other players have to lose stone. And if they don't, lose points. So you might, instead of, well, hey, I really need to kind of go down the mountain over here, but I'll come over this way to make sure everybody loses some stone. So you can get some player interaction if you want to use these. There's 8 of them, and every time you play, 4 of them are put randomly on the board. What else is there? Oh, the milestones you can get for getting your honor up. You can go with the standard settings, or there's these randomizers. They're havoc tokens. So every time you play, you can get a different series of honor rewards for working your way up, which is very, very cool. Oh, also, if you want, everybody can be given a secret objective card right at the beginning of the game that they could pursue. And these are done really well. This is the one I've got in this solo game I'm playing right now, where at the end of the game, if I've maxed out 1, 2, 3, or 4 of my Viking advancement tracks, I'll get 2, 7, 14, or 20 points. Now you'll notice I'm halfway through the game and I'm not doing very well on any of those. I haven't gotten any of them even close to finished. But instead of going for that anytime I want, if I don't think I'm going to do very well points wise, I can just jettison this and get an immediate bonus. In this case, move forward on 2 tracks. So these are very, very cool. Everybody ends up getting 1 at the beginning of the game. Also, players, if they want, can have unique special powers. This particular faction, the yellow faction special powers, at the beginning of every round, they get 2 resources for free. But other factions have different powers, like the blue one over here. And let's see, what else? Oh, another surprising change. The original run-through I did, there were 7 rounds you played through, but I think it's much, much nicer now that there are only 6. So the game is a bit quicker. Let's see, what else? Oh, well, of course, the art is now complete and final and just looks absolutely stunning. Some really ghastly, scary stuff. And also, I mean, fair warning, some people might be put off by this. It's something you got to know going in. There's also some very sexy stuff. Let's see if there's some in this deck, if I can find any. Like, oh, hi there. So that's a war chief who will help you in battle. How? I guess with arcane evil magics. Oh, and here's a goddess of earth or something. So basically, there's a lot of TNA in this game, a lot. Not only in the card art, but the minis themselves. Like I said, I'm playing the yellow clan. Here's what they look like. Here's an up-close personal of them. So this is definitely something. This is one of those definitely Age of Conan, Boris Vallejo inspired style games. Again, very detailed, but very... Well, if you want to say misogynistic, I mean, I can't necessarily find fault with that. But anyway, so that's definitely something you'll have to bear in mind going in as well. Oops, I knocked one of my guys. Come back here, you. I think this, I don't think I'd used up all my archers. So anyway, last thing. Let me show you how the solo game works, because I'm in the middle of one. I just finished this turn. We are having to deal with this demon, and I am totally out of gold. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to lose 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now if I want, I can make a deal with this demon and give up one of my god cards to basically get 4 actions next turn and 3 more honor. I think I will totally do that. So I've already got 3 gods. Let's see, since I'm going to get 3 honor, I think I will give up this guy, who I've had since the beginning, who every round will give me a single honor. I'm going to jettison him to basically make a deal which gives me a 4th worker. So next round, I'm going to have 4 workers instead of 3, which is awesome. And I get 3 more honor. 1, 2, 3, which means I cross this line. You know what? I think I will increase on this track, because maybe it's not too late. I mean, I've only got 3 more rounds, but maybe I can actually get some points out of this objective by moving up a little bit there. And I've screamed way ahead of the dummy player in terms of honor. And so we are done with that. And we're moving on to round 5 of 6. And so at the beginning of, and also, let's see, at the end of the round, the second ring is going to go clockwise one time. So there we go. So anyway, now, an interesting thing, the way the solo game works is instead of having draw piles for the war chiefs and the buildings and the gods, they're all shuffled up into one big pile, and every round you draw up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's another war chief, by the way. Again, how they help you in war? Well, they've got their ways, I suppose. But anyway, so they come out, and the dummy player that you're playing against basically just has these, 6 cards. And every round you choose one randomly. I'll just go ahead and get this since it's hard to shuffle. And this indicates, this round he's going to do everything. Some of the cards he won't necessarily do all 5 actions, but he's going to do all 5 of these. And before I do anything. So first of all of his guys are going to move clockwise 1 space. So they are now blocking different areas. Easy peasy. And now he's going to move forward twice on his building track. 1, 2, and twice on, he hasn't moved here yet, twice on this track. He's going to eliminate 3 cards. So these are 3 that I cannot recruit. And they just go back to the bottom of this deck of stuff. His honor increases by 1, and he's going to take a property, a piece of land. He wants black if he can, then green, then purple, then red. So, and he can reach wherever he wants. He doesn't have to actually do any combat. All right, so he wants a black, so he just took another bit of land. There's another piece of land. No. This is for 3 and 4 players. So that means he's going to jump over here. Actually, since this is all taken, boom, he's just jumped over here. And he's the first onto this island, which means he's also taken that. And man, I was going to fight these because this is the group I'm really good at fighting. I was just about to move out there, but he beat me to it. As you can see, he's been grabbing a lot of fighting. I have not been doing as much as him. And because I was going to have a contiguous set of 3 of these zones being mine, but he just moved. And, if he'd, c'est la vie. So, but now that he's jumped there, if I increase my sailing, I can jump over here. And, hey, I wouldn't mind taking on, or no. Actually, that was the last green on the board. So all this time I spent investing on getting good at fighting them, that's all. Although if I just move up 1 more, I'll be the first to get a big honor bonus and 3 points. So I might still do it anyway, even though there's nobody else to fight. Okay. So anyway, that was it. That's how the dummy works. At the beginning of a round, he does whatever he's going to do. He moves his guys around, moves up on tracks, and that's really to compete with getting first dibs, because if he makes it to the end of any of these before I do, then I don't get those bonuses. And he increases up the honor track, and he grabs land. And now next turn, we will reshuffle this, and he'll do something else. And and new cards won't come out until next turn, but these are available for me to buy. And now I can go. And unlike normal, where I only have 3, this time I've got 4 because I made a deal with the devil, and I can start working my way down the mountain. And, and activating those however it is I want to do it, without any interference from other players. Well, this would not be a good way to go because there's nothing down there. Although I do think I have a god. I do have a god that would let me rotate stuff if I need to, like, say, that. Because then I could have come down here, and then my 4th one could have been down there as an example. All the rotating stuff still works really well, and I've been enjoying this. This has been a fun little puzzle, trying to maximize my turns, because the way it works is he doesn't care about score. All he's doing is gobbling up terrain, gobbling up cards I want, and potentially blocking me on the wheel. At the end of the game, I am racing over the 6 rounds to beat his score. The easiest level is I got to beat an 80. Because he just, no matter what he does, he's assumed to have 80. But if I want to play on medium, I got to beat 100. I've only got 2 more rounds to score 50 points. It's taking me 4 rounds to get to the 52 I'm at the moment. Will I make it? I don't know. But folks, that is just a brief peek at the final Barbarians: The Invasion. Very, very impressive. Fun little solo game. Lots of neat additions. Player interaction if you wanted. A lot of maps. Gorgeous minis. Gobsmackingly stunning, gorgeous artwork. I cannot stress that enough. If you're comfortable with the subject matter, and just overall, a very, very neat worker placement package. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching once again. Have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.